Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. Your trading is made easy with a level of clarity. And DSY controls dollar. It controls everything about dollar. It shows when the strength of dollar is weak and when it's strength. And today, I'll be showing you how to analyze DSY like a professional trader. By the way, today is Sunday, and Sunday we do top-down analysis and give buyers on what to expect in the market. And today we have few pairs that be running top-down analysis, and today we'll be covering both gold and BTC. So stay with us to the end of this video, because at the end of this video you must maximize your chance of winning in Forex market. Now, today we are starting with DSY, and when you look at this, right, I covered all these movements in my previous video, because when you look at this, let's place since 20th of November 2025, DSY has been coming out, which is corresponding with some of the activities going on GBPUSD. Now, when you look at it, okay, let's hide all this. When you look at it, you can see since same 21 Friday to 2025, November 2025, GBPUSD has been buying. Why? Because DSY has been selling, showing the weakness in strength of dollar. When you go to EURUSD, same is happening. As you can see, EURUSD started buying on 21 November 2025. Now, when you look at it, we discover that immediately DSY starts its activity, then other USD pairs follows, right? Once you understand how to analyze DSY, definitely it's gonna solve some puzzles for you as a trader, because most of the major currencies are traded against USD. So we have something like Euro USD, GBPUSD, USDJPY, gold, USDCHF, and so on, including BTC. Now, when you look at this right now, you will discover that this market is currently on down movement. By the way, I covered all these down movements in my previous video, so I recommend you go through my previous video, because it will clarify you that you are at the right place. Your trading is made easy with high level of clarity. So without having said that, let's proceed. Now, when we go to monthly time frame, you can see, okay, let's quickly remove all this. Now, when we go to monthly time frame, you can see what is currently happening, right? By the way, I covered everything. Okay, let's delete everything and start afresh. I covered all these moves that we are seeing here, because on Sunday that I covered this, the market was still at this particular place, and I explained all the reasons why we should be expecting this particular gap to be covered. Why? Because whenever we have a gap like this, right, and the market, the previous monthly candle or weekly or daily closed as a bearish candle like this, markets will always come and close the wick below before more continuation to the upside, and that's exactly what the market is doing. But currently we still have some little gap left to be covered, which can still open door for more down continuation before more movement to the upside. But when we come to weekly, you can see that DSY, which is dollar index, as you can see, because DSY means dollar index, as you can see. Now, DSY is trying to cover every gap left. As you can see on the screen, there is no gap left to be covered. It is stylishly covering them. Now, when we move down to daily, you can see that here also we don't have any significant gap left to be covered. That is why it is always important for you to start your top-down analysis sometimes from monthly time frame, because that is what is going to give you what you need to see. Let's go back to daily time frame. Now, on daily time frame, I covered this when the market was here, explaining all the reasons why we should be expecting this low to be what? Clear. Why? If today is your first time of being on this channel, whenever the market is moving to the upside and created a low that created a high or swept the buy side liquidity without the low sweeping any liquidity, market will always come down to take it out, coming to other block fair value gap or imbalance to sweep this low before continuation today upside, and that's exactly what this market is doing. As you can see, this low went and swept this buy side liquidity, but as you can see, none of these candles closed above it, not even on 4 hours. As we can see, not even on 1 hour. So it just went there, swept the buy side liquidity, and now continued moving to the downside. Now, seeing that, it opened more door why we should have more confidence that the market was going to come to the downside to take this low out, and the market has already done that. But I want us to acknowledge something. Now, remember what I just said few minutes ago, that whenever a high is taken out without that low taking any liquidity, market will always come back to take it out. As you can see, this market broke this external high, right, to the upside. But when we look at it, this was the low created before that move. So let's quickly delete some of these things for our chart to be more clear, which happened to be this low. So I'm expecting market to take at least 1 or 2 low before USD will continue today upside, corresponding what we're already seeing on GBPUSD and EURUSD, which we are going to look at in just few minutes. Now we're expecting market to take out at least one internal structure created before this break before we start looking for more continuation to the upside. So let's drop down to 4 hours, because here we are not seeing any point of interest at this particular place of valid order block. The only place we are seeing a valid order block on daily happens to be just only this particular place, which is giving more confluence because we have all these internal structure resting above it, which we could see the market coming here before continuation to the upside. But let's proceed. Before we proceed, let's identify this as our liquidity that has been taken. Then we identify this as a break of structure. Then we remove this. Now let's go to 4 hours. Now on 4 hours right now, everything is seems quite interesting. Now when you look at it now, you will still discover that before this internal break of structure to the upside, we can see, let's identify this as a break of structure. We can see that this low was created before this break of structure, and this low did not sweep any liquidity, so which is giving more room why we should be expecting this low to be taken out before continuation to the upside, which means we could see markets coming to this order block before more continuation to the upside. Now, what do we have at this particular place? Now, in this particular place, we have a low that needs to be taken, despite we have already taken the first one. But let's move down to 1 hour to see if we are going to see any valid order block, because on 4 hours, we can't see any valid order block or any good area of interest. Okay, here we have one here, below here. So as you can see right now, from what we are seeing right now, we are expecting more down continuation today, more continuation to the downside, which we could make some of the USD pairs to be very weak this coming week. But before we look at that, we can see that this market right now has a fair value gap, another block left just above here, which we could see market coming back to this particular place before this continuation today downside. We could see something like this new trading week. Why? Because when we go to 1 hour time frame, we can see that we have gaps that need to be covered, most especially at this particular place. And when we have a valid fair value gap like this, we're expecting market to come to take it out, considering that we have a very strong hold that swept, now a very strong high that swept this internal liquidity, making this to be a very strong high. So we could see the market coming back to this particular place before moving to the downside. So having this in mind right now, it has given us a clue that USD is still gonna be little weak before any movement. But if the market decides to continue moving down from this particular place, then it has also given us more confirmation to start looking for more buy side in other USD pairs. So this is how to always know the strength of USD before moving over to other currency pair, because no matter whatever USD pairs like GBPUSD, USDJPY, and EURUSD, whatever they are doing, if this is giving you something else, just focus on whatever this guy is giving you, unless DSY is not clear to you, right? But if it is very clear, just like we are seeing, we should expect it to control any other USD pair. So having said that, let's now move to our analysis. Now we are starting the next one. I have a very good order on gold. I have a very good setup on gold this week. Now on gold, last week on Wednesday, I explained all the reasons why we should be expecting everything that we are seeing at this particular place. And as you can see, gold, first of all, came to this particular order block that we covered, and before it started moving to the upside. Later it came back to this order block that I gave us before continuation to the downside, going to take out this high. Congratulations to some of our viewers that utilize this opportunity in the market. Now, when we look at this, what do we have? Let's quickly delete some of these things for our chart to be more clear. Now, when we look at it, I explained all the reason why we should expect this to be our strong low, which this low is still very much active. Why? Now, when we zoom out, let's zoom out a little for us to have clear analysis. Now, when we look at this, we can see that we had a very valid break of structure at this particular place. But let me delete everything so now we can see that when the market was moving to the downside, by the way, okay, let's start from daily time frame so that we capture everything that we are doing very well. Now, when you look at this, you can see how gold has been moving to the upside. As you can see, gold is in a very bullish movement. And when you look at it, I covered this market when it was here, explaining all the reasons why we should expect more continuation to the upside immediately after gold swept this internal liquidity, right? I explained all the reasons why we should be expecting gold to continue moving to the upside. When gold broke to the upside, right, I explained all the reasons why we should be expecting reactions from this bearish daily order block, and I covered all these movements, and gold did exactly that way. And when the market got to this particular place, I explained all the reasons why we should expect more continuation to the upside. Why? Because this happened to be a very strong area of resistance, and whenever resistance is broken, it turns to support. So gold has been respecting our analysis and be moving to the upside. By the way, you can go through my previous videos and you will see where we covered all these analysis. And currently on Wednesday, I explained all the reasons. Sorry, on no Sunday last week, I explained all the reasons why we should be expecting gold to come and tap inside this particular daily order block. Now, let me quickly say this, right? Whenever you are analyzing and you see opposite candle resting with a gap left on any daily time frame, expect market to always come back to fill it before continuation to the upside, and that's exactly what gold has done. So what are we expecting on gold currently? Now, when we look at it right now, we can see that this gap has been filled. And do we have any other active gap? Yes, we have one, but I want you to look at how gold has really been covering every gap left, just leaving this particular one just uncovered. Because when you look at it, you can see that okay, let's adjust a little. You can see that fair value gap at this particular what place. So we could see more continuation to the downside to come and fill that gap. But having said that, let's drop down to 4 hours to see what we currently have. Now, on 4 hours, we can see that that gap is still that particular place. And at this particular place, on 4 hours, the gap left has been covered. So let's move down to 1 hour to see if things will be clarified more. Okay, now inside that gap that we are seeing, we have a very good fair value gap, another block there, as you can see. So this happened to be a very good point of interest, right? So we have a very good point of interest at this particular place, which we could see market coming down to fill that particular zone. Why? Because we have liquidity resting above it. And remember, whenever we have a liquidity like this, it serves as a magnet for magnet to come down and take out all these lows before more continuation to the upside. So we could be seeing more bearish movement to come and take out all these lows before continuation to the upside. So having that in mind, let's now look at this particular place. Now, in this particular place, okay, everything is same. Okay, let's focus on this particular place here to see if we are going to see something else before taking this as our very strong level. Now, let's delete this. Now, okay, now let's identify this. Okay, this is a valid break of structure. We had this valid break of structure here. Why is it valid? Because we can see that this week or that high swept this particular high before that break of structure. Now, since we have this, what we don't want to see right now is market to go above this, because anything that goes above it is now going to be a change of trend. And guess what? Market has gone above it, giving us that valid break of structure. And why is this valid break of structure? Because we had a very valid break of structure to the downside, and we had a very good sweep of liquidity. Market has gone above it right now, giving us a valid change of character rather. Now, it's no longer going to be break of structure, rather it's going to now be a change of character. Why? Because this high swept liquidity, and whenever you see a high low sweeping liquidity, we don't want to see market goes above or below it. Anything that goes below and above it and close above or below it is going to be definitely a change of character. So currently now, this happened to be our very strong low. It is still intact. And what do you expect if this is your first time of being in this channel? Whenever you see a valid break of structure, something like this, right? Then you see, sorry, let's get the pattern very well. Now let's assume that we have something like this, right? And the market came back, took out this liquidity and created a valid break of structure, right? But before that creating of structure, you will see markets moving like this before that break of structure. After this break of structure, markets always come back to take out internal lows or internal structure, then continue moving to the upside. And that's exactly what this market did. After this change of character, right? What happened? The market came back, taking out all these internal structures. As you can see, we have one here. We have another one here, and we have even this particular one. The market took everything out before this continuation to the upside. And guess what? After taking out all these things, it gave us this low that took out all this internal structure. making this right now our very strong what? Low. A very strong low because we have that valid break of structure after that sweep of liquidity, which means this is now a valid break of structure. We should be still expecting more continuation to the upside. Now, my trending range for the week right now, listen, it is very important for you to always identify your trading range, right? My trading range for the week now is between here and this particular place, right? Now, this is my trading range. I want to see market react here, giving me that valid entry before I start looking at anything that I'll be doing. Now, in situation like this, let's now move to lower time frame. Let's go to 13 minutes to see. We don't have any valid order block here or any fair value gap. Let's see 15 minutes. Same here. We don't see any valid order block or fair value gap. Let's see 5 minutes. We don't have any fair value gap or good order block at this particular place, right? So what are we going to be doing? We are now going to wait to see what the market is going to be doing. So let's go back. We are now going to be waiting to see what the market is going to do at this particular low trading what range. We want to see that change of character at this particular place, right? Something like this, maybe something like this, sweeping this internal liquidity, then breaking the structure and market going above this high. Once we see this, we can wait for retracement or a movement to other block or fair value gap. Then we can continue taking this market to the upside. Then if we didn't see this and market goes below these two strong lows, then that is what is going to open room for the market to come to this particular what? Order block. So this is my um first point of interest here because this is the only place that I'm seeing a valid point of interest. So I will be looking for that movement here. First, remember, first take profit 3-to-1 risk reward. Then I can be targeting this buy side what? Liquidity. Now this is my first entry, but if the market eventually gives me that change of character at this particular level, then I will be looking for that movement from this particular place. Then my stop loss just below this low, right? Then first take profits 3-to-1 risk reward. Let's zoom a little bit. First TP 3-to-1 risk reward. Don't be greedy in the market, right? Second one, I'll be targeting this buy side liquidity. So on gold, these are the setup that I'll be looking out for. But if the market decides to behave otherwise, you still don't have anything to worry about. On Wednesday, we are still going to be updating you people. Then, by the way, please don't neglect this order block here. I don't know what the market is going to do immediately it opens this bearish order block because this is a very strong high that swept this liquidity, this buy side liquidity, and we have fair value gap here. So we don't know what the market is really gonna do, but don't neglect this order block. If the markets first of all comes to this particular place, you'll check and look at what the market is going to give you at this particular place before taking that order because the market is still currently reacting from this daily order block that we can see. As you can see, look at that daily order block. So please don't neglect that bearish order block on 1 hour. The market is still on this daily order block. So don't neglect what you are seeing here right now on this daily order block here. Look at it there. Are you seeing it? So, but it depends what the market is going to give to us, but you don't have anything to worry about. No matter whatever the market give to us, on Wednesday, we'll still be updating you people what to do. Then again, we have a very good order block on our GBPU order point of interest on GBPUSD. By the way, on GBPUSD, all the point of interest that we are waiting for has not been triggered, that we covered last week has not been covered. But let's look at what we currently have here. By the way, okay, let's start from daily. As you can see, GBPUSD is kind of reacting from a very strong area of daily order block. Let's zoom for you to understand better. Let's zoom on what we can see. That's why it's good to always start on from higher time frame, because that is what gives you a clear view of what is currently happening in the market, which is the trend of the market and other things. Despite for the moment, GBPUSD is in bullish movement. As you can see, the market is creating series of higher highs and higher lows, but currently the market is reacting from these other blocks. So I want us to understand that first. And let's now zoom out to see what is currently happening. Okay, now we can see a market that is in a very bearish movement, and right now we can consider this to be a counter trend. Now, when we look at this, just remember what I said just a few minutes ago, that whenever you see something, a market creating series of lower lows and lower highs, whenever it wants to have a counter trend or deep retracement, it will first of all try and take out some internal structures before more continuation today, downside or upside, depending the direction of the market. I think that is what GBPUSD is trying to do, right? It wants to take out at least one internal structure before continuation today, downside, but because from what we can see that the market is creating series of lower lows and lower highs. Now, remember what we are seeing on what we saw on DSY, that dollar is still gonna be a little weak for the week. So let's have that in mind and look at this GBPUSD. So on GBPUSD right now, as we can see on our daily, we are now trying or seeing, remember, trading is reactive and not predictive. By the way, if you have not subscribed, subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification button, like, share, and comment, because your like, share, and comment motivates us to do more quality educational videos like this. Without having said that, let's proceed. Now, as you can see right now, we're expecting it to take out at least one of these. So, and currently, GBPUSD is still creating series of higher highs and higher low. And when we look at this right now, we can see that we have a very bullish price movement, but we are now left with a very big gap that needs to be covered with a very good order block. So let's identify it. And when you look at GBPUSD, you can see how GBPUSD has been covering every gap left behind. Are you seeing it? So we're expecting this gap to be covered, but let's look at what we have on weekly chart though. So at least we have a good reaction again at this particular place, because we have that gap left here during the daily price movement now, that we can have a we can say that when the market opens, this gap will need to be covered, which is opening door for bearish price action at the beginning of the week, before we start seeing bullish movement to the upside. Remember, on our DSY, we can also see that we could see a potential move to the upside here before more continuation to the downside. And on our GBPUSD right now, we can say that there is a room that this market could be what GBPUSD could sell, which means GBP need to be weak against dollar for us to see this move, which is showing a strength of bullish price movement on DSY. I want you to be seeing how everything is correlating. Now, this opens door for more bearish price action with between Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday before we start seeing more continuation today upside. So having seen this, now let's move down to daily time frame. Now, inside this daily time frame, remember, we have a gap that needs to be covered. Currently, price reacting from bearish order block, and we have a order block below here that need to be filled. So having seen this, let's move down to 4 hours. Now, on 4 hours, we can see that the market is really reacting from this particular place. The market had already swept this buy side liquidity, and when you look at it, you will discover that the market has been reacting heavily at that particular point. Now look at the last body candle that closed just above, and when you look at it, no candle has closed above this. Let's adjust a little. No candle has closed above this, as you can see. Now, we could be seeing that bearish continuation today, downside, depending what the market is going to be doing. Now, since we have this, then okay, let's delete this. Let's quickly go down to 1 hour. Remember, we are in counter trend of bullish price movement. We are expecting market to come to this particular place. So we could look for bearish movements that will bring the market here before we start looking for more continuation today upside. Though remember, trading is reactive but are not predictive. So let's drop down to 1 hour. Now on 1 hour right now, you can see how the market is stylishly creating lower lows now and lower highs. And when we look at it, we have very big gaps that needs to be covered, coupled with the order block that we are seeing here on 1 hour. So the market could be coming down to cover it. So when we look at this right now, we can now start uncovering some certain things. Now, okay, let's go to 13 minutes. There is something I'm seeing already. Now, okay, fine, let's delete this. As we can see, we had a market that created is a higher high and later created a higher low. This higher low did not sweep any liquidity, right? It didn't sweep any liquidity. So the market went and created another break of structure. How do you identify a fake break of structure? When the low that created that break of structure did not sweep any liquidity. So we are going to identify this as a fake break of structure. What happened later? Market came back sweeping that low as what? A liquidity before creating a very good what? Break of structure. A very good break of structure. So let's identify it here. So we have this break of structure at this particular place, and it tends to be a valid break of structure. And remember what I said before, when a low sweep liquidity and created the break of structure, what we don't want to see is market going below it. So let's see if market have gone below this low. Okay, now the market has now gone below it, but we are yet to see a break or a candle close below this low. Let's zoom very well. Now we have not seen any candle close below it, so we have to be careful about what is happening here. So while we are waiting for a candle close below it, we could see the market going below this. But for now, while we are waiting for that, remember from what we are seeing both DSY and what we are seeing on higher time frame, we are expecting the market to come to the downside. So we could, let's see 15 minutes if we have seen that candle close below. Okay. We are yet to see it, but we could be taking it to be that this market is going to go to the downside. But remember, trading is reactive and not predictive. So in situation like this, now what are we expecting? The market has now gone below it, but yet to close below it. So we should be waiting for that candle close before a pullback. But having seen that, now we can boldly see that we have a market like equal highs here. Let's go to 30 minutes to see. We have equal highs here, and whenever we have equal highs or equal lows, it serves as magnet for market to come and pull out before continuation to the actual direction. And above these equal highs, we now have a very good fair value gap above here. Look at it. Hope you can see that fair value gap. And this fair value gap right now is telling us the market is could come to fill it, corresponding what we already have above it. So when we go to lower time frame like 30 minutes, we can see that we have a very good order block here. We have a very good order block here. So we could see the market to come above here before continuation to the downside. So on GBPUSD, I'm going to be looking for that first point of interest at this particular place. Please remember, this is a counter trend on already existing counter trend on daily time frame, so you got to be very careful. Trading is reactive and not predictive. My first take profit is 3-to-1 risk reward. Then depending what the market gives to me, then I could be targeting lower, right? At least to come and fill this fair value gap at this particular place. So, but depending what the market is going to be giving to us, we react how the market reacts. So on GBPUSD, this is what I am looking for. So I never okay on USDCHF. I have a very good position again. Now on USDCHF, as we can see, the market is gradually moving to the upside. Let's start from daily time frame. Let's see what we have. Now, on daily time frame, we can see how this market is kind of ranging heavily. But despite we are seeing that ranging, we can see how it is gradually creating higher highs and what? Higher lows, as you can see it now. So the market is creating higher highs and higher lows stylishly and also ranging. What do we do in a situation like this? We start looking for more continuation to the upside. So when we drop down to, let's see weekly first of all, fine. As you can see, that weekly, you are seeing that very good bullish engulfing pattern. Let's see monthly. Monthly, we are seeing those rejections below here. So it's showing us that the is going to go to the upside, and daily we can see that bullish engulfing pattern also. So let's drop down to, okay, let's see daily. Now on daily, everything seems quite interesting. Now on daily, we have this gap that the market is likely going to cover before movement to the upside. Now, this is our daily, right? So let's go to 4 hours. And on 4 hours, the price has already closed this. Let's see. Let's delete this. Okay, now let's see what we have here. Do we have any gap that needs to be covered here? Let's see this. Okay, we have just a little gap that needs to be covered. Okay, but the market has actually covered this gap a little here, right? Let's go to 1 hour to see. Okay, okay, fine. Now on 1 hour, everything seems quite defined. And so let's break it down to your understanding. Now, as we can see right now, we can see a market that was creating series of lower lows and lower highs. Now it has changed trend to be creating higher highs and higher lows. But before that, let's go to our 4 hours to see what really happened. Now, as you can see right now, the market is kind of moving to the upside. the market first of all broke this market to the upside, right? So after break of structure, what do you expect? You expect the market to come down to take out internal structures created before that break, because those internal structures did not sweep any liquidity. So market has come down to take it out, and right now it has continued moving to the upside, currently reacting from this 4 hours order block. And the market immediately saw this order block. It now came down to take out this liquidity. How is it a liquidity? Now let's look at it. Let's zoom a little. I want you to always identify your market to be like this always. When you look at it now, you will discover that this low, right, created this high you are seeing here. I think we are going to go to 1 hour for you to identify it properly. As you can see, that low created this break of structure, which by now you must have known that this is a fake break of structure. So this fake break of structure was created just at this particular place. And this low did not sweep any liquidity. What happened? Market came back to take out all the internal structure created and coming to this other block, right, that we are seeing at this particular place. This very good order block that we are seeing at this particular place, because we have a fair value gap just at this particular place. Now the market is reacting here, and the market has already started creating series of higher highs and higher lows. So in this situation right now, we have a market that created a low now that did not sweep any liquidity. So we could see the market coming back to take it out before continuation today upside. And when we look at it right now, we can see a very good order block at this particular place, which could open the door for this market to come and fill this order block to take out this liquidity that we have here before continuation today upside. So in situation like this, I could be looking for that first entry at this particular place. My TP, I'm going to target this buy side liquidity, depending what the market is going to do immediately it opens. But if the market decides to do otherwise, let's drop down to lower time frame to see if we are going to see any other valid points of interest. Here we don't see anyone. And okay, here we are seeing some certain gaps, right? Now, this is where we're expecting market to take out. But if market decides to, react and change direction from here, because we have that fair value gap there, fair value gap is always very powerful in the market. We have one here, and I can see another one at this particular place. So, in some situations, market could come just tap inside this zone and continue moving to the upside immediately it opens. So if you see that entry at this particular place, you can be taking that trade here, and I'll be targeting 3 to 1 risk 1 to 3 risk reward, which is gonna be just at this high. Or if you see that particular entry at this particular place, remember, have a very good entry model that will help you to be entering any market. 3 to 1 risk reward here, or I target here. So on USDCHF, these are the entries that I will be looking at, right, on USDCHF, and couple with what we are seeing on our what is it called again, DSY, that dollar is going to be strong for the meantime before we start seeing its weakness. So the market could decide to react from here and continue moving to the upside, but whatever the market gives to you, then you can be taking it. We have BTC USD and Euro USD. Okay, let's quickly just look at BTC USD because of time. Okay, let's go to daily to see what is happening. Okay, let's delete everything here. So let's go to weekly to see what is happening. Okay, so on weekly, BTC is still bullish, right? And when we look at what's happened right now, we can see that always know this, right? Whenever a low takes out a high without sweeping liquidity, market will always come for it. As you can see, this market broke this market to the upside, which gave us that fake breakout. And market later came down to take this liquidity, coming to this particular what order flow right now is reacting from this order flow, which opened up for more continuation to the upside. So let's drop down to daily. First of all, let's identify that gap. As you can see, we have a very good fair value gap there, and market has covered it. So let's move down to daily. Now, on daily, we can see that the market came down to take out all the internal structures created during that move today upside. All of them, market had already taken everything out. So, where is the market now reacting from? Now, we can see a good order block there. I think I saw it there. Okay, we can see a very good order block at this particular place, as you can see. We can see that order block here, and I think that is where the market is currently reacting from. Yes, the market has tapped inside that place, and right now the market is stylishly creating higher highs and higher lows now, as you can see. So I think we are going to see more continuation to the upside, considering the gaps that we are seeing at this particular place. So let's drop down to 4 hours. Then on 4 hours, everything seems quite interesting. And currently, okay, let's go to 1 hour to see. Okay, currently the market is has already taken some external structures. This before this move to the upside now. So I'm going to be using this as our strong low here, right? And here to be our high. This is my trading range for the week. So let's drop down to 1 hour to see what is happening. Now on 1 hour, we can see that we have this particular place. We have a very good order block at this particular place, right? As you can see, with this very good gap there, let's have it. Then we have another one. Okay, there's no gap there, so we cannot be taking this particular one. So right now, what are we expecting? Since the market has started creating series of higher highs and higher low, and considering that this low swept liquidity, so this happened to be our very strong low now. So we are not expecting market to go below it. And if market goes below it, then you know this market will continue moving to the downside. So on BTC, this is what I'll be expecting, and I'll be making that entry at this particular place. Please, I'm not going to be keeping my stop loss here. Why? Because remember, if you have been on this channel for some time, I've always said this: whenever you have order block with wicks, treat all as one, right? So this is what I'll be expecting. My first entry will be here, 3 to 1 risk reward, right? Then my second entry, I'm going to be targeting this buy side liquidity. So these are my points of interest in this week analysis. Remember, trading is reactive and not predictive. If you have not subscribed, subscribe, like, share, and comment, because of subscription, like, share, and comment motivates us to create videos like this. Then on GBPUSD, this is setups that I'm looking for. Then on gold, this is what I am expecting, right? Depending what the market is going to give to us. And then on USDCHF, this is also what I am expecting. So I'm wishing you, all of us, successful trading week ahead, and I pray that you maximize some of the opportunities that we have shared here. Have a wonderful day, guys.